don't want to just lose weight. You want to lose a faulty mindset. If you get your mindset down right, the rest will just naturally follow. What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Sheba Israel here. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. And if you're an OG subscriber, what's good? Welcome back. So today I was asked by my namesake, shout out to Sheba. She asked me to do an updated video on how I lost now 50 pounds. Y'all ain't never lost 50 pounds in my life. This is new even for me. I've been at this weight before, but I've never gone from 50 pounds to this weight before. So this has been a new journey for me. I talked about it a little bit in my 40-pound weight loss journey, but I can give y'all a little bit of an update since it's been 10 more pounds. So let's talk about how I lost 50 pounds without trying. And by not trying, I don't mean that I didn't give it any effort or discipline, but I didn't exert that much. I talked about this in another recent video, but discipline should be your reserve, not the main thing you're using. That will burn you out. I've done weight loss time and time again since I was like a little kid. I am a product of the early 2000s and the 90s where it was skinny, everybody was on a fad diet. So I've been doing this for a long time. Every time I burned myself out. There was not a single time I've ever tried to lose weight that I did not burn myself out, and burn myself out in like 2 weeks. The best I gave it when I was not in this mindset, it took me 6 weeks, I think, to lose 20 pounds. And I was burnt out after that. I was skinny, but I was burnt out after that. I couldn't keep it up. All that under eating and over exercising, it wasn't good for me. It was helpful because I did lose weight, but it still wasn't good for me. My metabolism was slower. Everything was just not as good. I was weak doing my workouts. I had no muscle because I was kind of lifting. I got into it, but I wasn't eating enough to sustain any muscle, so it didn't matter. So yeah, I was skinny, but at what cost? This go around, it took me a little bit longer to lose 50 pounds. Like it's been, gosh, when did I start getting serious? This go around. Overall, it's really been like two and a half years for me to be able to do this because I really started from scratch. 2022, I gained about 40 pounds between the summer of 2021 and end of 2022. So by the end of 2022, give or take, I was sitting at about, no, I never gained more than 40 pounds because at the time I was not the size I am now. I'm smaller than when I started. I had to correct myself. But when I had gained that large sum of weight, I did not immediately just say, okay, let me just do a diet real quick and lose this weight and get back to normal. I accepted my body, and we're really talking about mindset because that's really what I did to make this effortless. So I'm really running y'all through the mindset that I had that caused me to get to where I am, again, without necessarily trying. So the mindset I started to build at first really was the mindset of, okay, let me just relearn fitness. I had gotten a trainer. She was at my gym, but I did her virtual training, and then I paid her to do a meal plan for me. And it taught me how to eat to lose weight and sustain muscle. And her fitness plans taught me how to work out in order to gain muscle and lose fat. So I really started back at the fundamentals. I just got to learning, what are you supposed to be doing? And I learned to build those habits. I was going a little bit harder with her, but again, I had to bump my head and learn again, girl, that don't work for you. Running off discipline never ends well for you. I had told her I wanted to go quick, and I thought I did. So she gave me the plan that was like healthy, but it was going quicker. And no, I didn't like it. I was running off discipline and I did not keep up. She had me doing 40 minutes of cardio in the morning, workout at the gym for weights, and then 40 minutes of cardio in the evening. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it, and then I didn't stick with it. I did it for a while, but I couldn't keep it up. But I did learn a lot. And when I started to really do it myself after my trainer ended up leaving the gym, what happened was I took the fundamentals that she learned, that she taught me, I should say. I took those fundamentals and then I built my own plan that made sense for me. But it was based off her teaching me how to do things. Even her fitness plans for me was teaching me how to really lift properly. Isolated movements and how those work. Like, I really learned the basics of having a healthy lifestyle from her training and was able to then learn the basics, and then be able to formulate it to fit exactly what I was trying to do. The second thing I did as far as mindset was I had to give up, and I've kind of been talking about it, but that lose weight quick mindset. That involves a lot of discipline. You're not gonna keep up. That's why they always say diets don't work back in the day, or fad diets don't work. And it's because you're doing things that are torturous to yourself for a short period of time, and then you don't know what to do afterwards. Like, yeah, you lost the weight, but you're gonna gain it back. Not because you're inevitably gonna gain it back, but because you didn't build any habits. You don't know what you're doing outside of the starvation diet you just did. So for me, what I did to, I won't even say trick my mind, but reteach my mind, is I learned to focus on the nutrients I did need to help me hit my goals. And that is where I put my energy into, was abundance, what was needed, not what I needed to take out. I still took those things out, I just didn't make it my focus. So for example, I still do that now. My main goal in the day is to hit my protein goal. Everything else is secondary for the most part. Now, I still eat other things. I still have carbs. I still do other things, but they're secondary. So I can only fit in what I can fit in without going over my calorie deficit limit. And the nice thing about doing that is when you're getting enough protein keeps you fuller longer. It's like a natural appetite suppressant. So honestly, I don't even really be feeling like I'm in a deficit even when I am. I actually have to, at this point, remind myself to eat enough, because protein just really keeps you full. If you start your day with a protein shake, which I typically do, I gotta remember to eat for lunch sometimes, because I started my morning on 30 grams of protein straight away. And it don't have to be a shake. If you're a person who just enjoys like breakfast and you really want that, you can formulate a high protein breakfast that's gonna taste good for you. Steak and eggs is bomb. I just want that just cause. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It just happens to be good for me. Sausage and eggs, going egg whites, maybe one yolk. Like, there's so many ways that you can do this, but putting your focus onto protein, it's really gonna help you, because when you're getting enough protein, you're not even gonna be as hungry. And I probably should have started from taking y'all through the mindset of all my stages, but I did just kind of jump. So take that tidbit, and then we're gonna roll back a little bit. So let's talk about the mindset I had to lose the first 20 pounds. The first 20 pounds was the hardest, and we did kind of go over it there. I had to do the fundamentals. I had to learn. I had to do all those steps in order to hit that 20-pound goal. And that 20 pounds took me like 6 months, don't get me wrong. But it's because I made a conscious choice of, one, I wanted to learn the fundamentals first, so I spent a year doing that. So I really maintained my weight and built muscle throughout 2022. 2023 was when I started to really lose weight, and I did it slow on purpose. I still was maintaining my focus on protein, but because I was on tour at the time, I was like, I don't want to miss out on the best part, which is we love going to brunch. We love trying the different restaurants when we go to different places, and that was something I really wanted to do. Even, it's just historically been like a part of my life. Me and my family do the same thing when we go on trips. It's about, we're foodies. I want to do that. So I made a decision that I wasn't going to give it up. I was going to be okay with taking my weight loss journey as a lifestyle and taking it slower so I could still enjoy my life. And that mindset shift, oh, it changed the game. Yes, it happened slower, but it happened and I was happy. I wasn't miserable. And the weight still came off. I still hit the goal. And I got it in a more sustainable way and without losing a whole bunch of muscle either. But I did still have balance. It wasn't like I was eating crazy all the time. I allowed myself, when I was on the road, I could try what I wanted. I could do what I wanted, no guilt. That didn't mean go crazy. It just meant like if you really wanted something, girl, have it. You basically on vacation right now. When I was home, that wasn't the time to do that. And that was kind of my balance there. I was not eating crazy when I was at home. I was in the gym still when I was at home. And even on tour, environment changes things, because everybody around me was working out. I too still worked out on tour. And that part was so helpful, because you would think staying at a hotel, being busy, doing a lot of things, who really be going to the hotel gym except the people that's really on it? Well, I happened to be on a team with people that were really on it. And it helped me to stay on it myself, because that was just the culture of everyone around me, which was very much helpful because I didn't feel like I was punishing myself. It was part of the experience. My work friends and all of that, we was all in the gym together. It was a good time. So if you don't necessarily have that for you, I would say definitely get in some group fitness classes or hang around your fitness friends. Do something that's gonna make it feel more enjoyable for you if you're just now building the habits. When you're first building the habits, start slow. Do what you can. Build the habits. When I very first started in fitness, and I've talked about this before, I just did 20 minutes on the treadmill. I ran intervals for 20 minutes and I left. And then I increased it from there. I started doing 20-minute intervals in the morning, and then after work, I would come back and do it at night. And then I increased it from there. And then I started learning how to lift and to do all these things. I just let it increase as I learned more. And I think that is very important if you have not built a gym habit yet. I didn't have to do that necessarily this go around because I already had the habits. But if you don't have it, yeah, just start where you can and make it fun for yourself. Don't run off discipline, run off dopamine. The other mindset shift that I did have was learning to accept my body as it was. Fitness stopped being about punishing myself and started being about respecting and accepting myself. Yes, I had goals I wanted to achieve, but no, I wasn't downing the girl that I was during the process. I respected her every step of the way. It was all for her and not against her. And I'm actually kind of glad that even weight gain happened to me because it really helped me dissolve a lot of my body dysmorphia. Getting to a size that I never thought I would get to, and then realizing like, oh, life really hasn't changed much. Like my knees hurt. I don't want this weight on me, but like no one started thinking I wasn't attractive. Like nothing really happened in the dire way that I thought it might have. I could still wear clothes. Like it was a lot more on me because as a fashion girly, you still want to, some people don't care, but personally, I try to dress to fit my body. So that part was a little more anxiety giving just because I was trying to dress to fit the body that I had and it wasn't the body that I was used to. But once I learned to adjust and I learned how to dress for the new me, I loved her too. And I had to learn that. At first I wasn't with it. I was like, how did I do this to myself? But then I got to a point of like, well, we're here now. What you finna do? Hate yourself for the next year? That's not gonna work. And honestly, I'm glad that it forced me to work on my mindset to love myself as is every step of the way while still improving. Because I look back at my pictures now and I was just like, girl, you was a thick fine. That's it. Now you a slim thick, but you was a thick fine before that. Love and respect your body at every stage you're in. Your workouts, your diet should be in reverence of your temple, not in punishment of it. And when you think of it that way, it's gonna make you wanna make healthier choices because it's gonna feel good to your body. It's gonna help you hit your goals that you wanna see on your body. It's gonna make you make choices that are just good for you. Like you might end up, like for me, if I go to a restaurant and I'm just like, that doesn't really fit my goals, even though I really want this like fried, whatever it is, I'm actually more likely to not get it than to get it just because it's going to be pleasurable for me in the moment. Because I'm like, that doesn't really help me in the long run as far as what I want for myself. It was quite a wake-up call. Like I sat with myself at a larger size and I had to look in the mirror and say, ma'am, the only person insulting you is you. No one's calling you fat, you're calling you fat. No one's saying your clothes don't look right on you, you're saying that. No one's talking to you like this. It's just you in your head. So what does that mean? You should probably stop. You're bullying yourself. So that first 20 pounds was definitely weight loss, but it was mental weight loss. That gotta come up off you first before everything else can just flow. And then we moved into the next season, which was another 20 pounds lost. Now that, as I mentioned in one of my recent videos, had a lot to do with me getting on ADHD medication. The kind that I take is a non-stimulant, but it's also kind of an accidental appetite suppressant. So because of that, me not being able to really stomach a whole lot of food, I kind of had the Ozempic effect without taking Ozempic. But my lifestyle did not change and my eating habits did not change. It was just that I really couldn't finish a lot of my food. Even if I wanted to, like I just could not get all that down for a while. My body learned to adjust a little bit more, but it was rough for a minute there. I wasn't even happy about it. I was like, I need to eat. But there is still a lesson in that, even if you aren't, having a neurodivergency issue or anything like that. The lesson in it was really to stop dopamine seeking with food. Because that's really what I learned I was doing. Yes, it suppressed my appetite a bit, but what I really learned was it changed my mindset towards the foods I was picking. I'll never forget, I was on the medication, I was on my cycle, and I was like, I really want to DoorDash some crumble cookie right now. Just because I just felt like I deserved a treat. I didn't even really want it. I don't even really love crumble. I like it, but I don't love it. I can resist sweets. I'm more of a savory person than a sweets person. But I was just like, yeah, I want this. The old me would have just got it because I was dopamine seeking. But me, at that point, with that more so in check, had the mindset to think about, wait, this isn't gonna help you. You don't even like sugary sweets like that. And is that really gonna help you with your goals tomorrow? Is it gonna set you back? Like, that was not my mindset. And it took all the dopamine out of the experience for me. To the point where I couldn't even order it. I couldn't even go get it because it just didn't make sense to me. Once I took out the dopamine seeking in the experience of food, it just made food more of a practical thing to me than an emotional thing. And that was the thing that I really tackled around that second 20-pound mark, was not getting my dopamine off of food and feeling full and all that type of stuff. I'm not saying starve yourself. Don't take it there. I just mean overly stuffed or just eating because it tastes good. I got up out of that. So I'm not going to hold you. That was a big factor in helping me lose the second 20 pounds. I still would have lost it, but I lost it a lot quicker due to finding that out about me and addressing it. At this point, though, the most recent 10 pounds that I have lost has been mainly fat loss. And that is because I've already got the habits I needed and I was able to hone in and I know what to do in order to lose weight while sustaining my muscles. So essentially trying to lose fat, not necessarily trying to lose just weight off my body. I would honestly be okay if I did not see the scale shrink anymore. I just need them inches to come up off me. But the point being is that I built good habits. So this last 10 pounds, to be quite honest, this is the most never trying I never did. I just stuck to the routine I was doing and tweaked it a bit to fit the goals that I had, like the amount of protein I was eating, but outside of that, ain't much changed. And that's what I mean when I say, like, this is how you can do it without trying. Once you get the habits down and the mindset down, it's pretty much effortless. Going the lifestyle route is not how to lose 40 pounds in 3 weeks, but it is more sustainable. It's how to lose 40 pounds and keep it off. And that's really what you want. And also just get away from the scale part in general. Like, yes, I still measure by the scale a little bit, but it's not the definite for me. It's about how I look. I prefer measuring myself by the clothing that I wear. I could care less what the scales say, these bottoms say. Now, I do have some tips to help you guys because I know trying to prep and do all these things is a lot of work. You already, if you're unaware, have to figure out how to calculate what should your deficit be, how much protein do you need. So I'm here to help y'all out a little bit by telling y'all some of the tips and tricks that I do to get my nutrients in. First thing is, I really like a Korean spinach. I found this recipe on YouTube and it is so good. I throw it into my dishes often, just make sure I get some greens, some micronutrients in there. Second thing I do is, while I don't have like a HelloFresh or a Factor Meals thing, I will get the pre-prepped protein. I know packaged food's not great, and I don't mean like hot dogs and stuff like that, but at Aldi, they actually do have a lot of specialty meats that are kind of like prepped. You just got to put it all together. I be living off those because it's so much easier to prep and get done than me having to cook a bunch of meat from scratch. That part don't work well for me. I need it at least partially done. Another big tidbit is, once you figure out like solid meal plans, stick to what you know. Don't deviate too hard. I know it gets boring sometimes, but stick to what you know because it'll make it easier. At some point, once you keep doing the same repetitive things, you'll kind of know off top how many calories, how much protein you got out of it. And so you'll need to even track less. Don't start there. If you don't know how to track, if you ain't done all the steps yet, you need to do it. But like over time, you won't have to do it as much if you stick to the same kind of routine, which takes some of the mental load off of you. If you're always switching up what you eat or doing these little intricate things here and there, that's all these calories and nutrients you got to track. Another thing is get into them substitutes for meals that you like. I am a sucker for that Greek yogurt cheesecake. My little sister did it one day. I tried it myself. It was fire. Like, it still had the consistency of like a no-bake cheesecake. Don't let you put some crust in there. I got some Oreo thins. Sprinkle them on top. Put some berries in there, you know what I'm saying, for some little antioxidants and fiber. Oh, I had a good healthy time. It didn't even need to be healthy. I feel like I'm cheating. But stuff like that really does help. Get the low carb tortillas instead of the regular tortillas. Get the low fat cheese instead of the regular cheese. Them little areas you can save some calories really gonna help you. And without making you feel like you had to struggle to get there. Don't tell yourself you're on a diet. Just formulate stuff to make it make more sense. You don't need sour cream, use the Greek yogurt. You get more protein in, and it's less calories. Actually, it's about the same amount of calories, but you got more protein out of it. You didn't get no protein out of the sour cream. When it comes to substitutes too, I like to sub my meals if I do get like fast food or food that's outside of the house. I do like to make sure it kind of fits my macros. Like for me, typically if I'm getting food outside of the house, let's be real, it's Chipotle. But I will do the things to make sure Chipotle fits my macros. So I already know, hey, I don't want to give up the rice. But I will get brown rice instead of the white rice so I can get more nutrients out of it. Instead of getting the full portion of black beans, I'll get just a little bit. I do like a little touch of it. I forego the sour cream and I put Greek yogurt on it when I get home, because your girl gonna want extra cheese. I'm not giving up cheese, so I had to give up the sour cream. And by doing that, it actually brought down the calories of my bowl and up the protein astronomically, because I also will always put double protein on it too. There's a lot of foods that you naturally just would eat that you can formulate to fit what you're trying to do. You just gotta do the work to do it. Y'all know I always say it, but you got to romanticize all your journeys. You got to learn how to enjoy it in the process. And these are the tools that I use and the mindset that I had in order to lose 50 pounds now. And mind you, I have not backtracked once. I have never regained any weight. I only really lose weight, and at this point unnecessarily. It's because there's nothing to backtrack on. It's just my lifestyle. I'll make little tweaks to fit a goal, but overall we're still sitting in the realm of my lifestyle. There is no backtrack. This is just who I am, and that makes it a way easier time, a way more sustainable time. And then it's like you look up and next thing you know, oh, hey, I didn't hit my goals. You don't want to just lose weight. You want to lose a faulty mindset. If you get your mindset down right, the rest will just naturally follow, making it to where you are losing 50 pounds and you weren't trying. If you got any good tips out of this video, please let me know. Comment down below. If you want to add anything, please feel free, or you got any requests for me, I'm taking requests. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.